So these mothers will be re-impregnated every year, over and over and over again, in order to keep their milk production high.
For God's sakes.
Here, do you know why they do that? The main reason that they're able to do that is because they already work in an industry that normalizes so much violence that where do we draw the line? Okay, so we can restrain and forcibly impregnate these animals, we can slit their throats, we can attach them to milking machines, but you can't kick them. It's a bit arbitrary, don't you think? Hello. How are you? I'm just admiring that. I know, me too. I know, I love it. I'm jealous.
Who are these guys?
Except them, I don't know. I'm with this crew, and then this crew showed up. It's like a colliding of worlds. Yeah, except I don't like the feathers because I am all about the animals. But other than that, well, let's say they're fake. Let's say they're fake. Is this footage that you've seen before, or is this a new? Each screen is just showing a different side of the animal agriculture industry. So you're.
Thank you. I'm vegan.
Oh, thank you. Are you? Well, me too. I'm so glad to hear that. This is obviously the egg industry right here.
Yeah.
And a lot of the standard practice people don't know about.
So what's up with this? Why are the chicks in there?
Like, why is this happening?
Well, I don't understand. Well,
Okay.
Okay, so you want the eggs.
Yeah.
Why are the eggs and the chicks both going down together?
No, that is a good question. This is when I first saw this, I had the same. I didn't know what I was seeing. Would you be surprised to learn that only girls lay eggs?
I wouldn't.
Right.
Be surprised.
Right. Yeah. So in the egg industry, there are both boys and girls being born in the hatcheries, but the boys don't lay eggs for the egg industry. Can you finish my sentence?
I can.
So what do they do with the boys?
They get rid of them immediately.
And how do they do that? How do they do that?
I don't know.
They grind them up on the day that they're born. Yeah. If not that, there are other methods they use. They'll suffocate them sometimes, but they're seen as a profit loss. And because we've turned animals, we've turned them from somebody into something.
Right.
That's all we view it as.
Right.
It's a profit loss. So
Right.
this is what a free-range farm looks like. So a lot of times we go to the grocery store and we see words like, free range or pasture raised, and we don't always know the full extent of what that means because it is marketing. And so this is really just about education, and I think it's important we're fully informed. You know.
That was interesting in that footage. I hadn't seen. I mean, I've watched a lot of different documentaries. My son is vegan, and
is he?
Yeah. Always
did you watch them with him? Was it sort of like your son?
No, but I mean, when he originally he started watching Netflix long before we did. But now anytime I can see anything, I try to watch. So I mean,
that's very cool that you.
He's gone, and now we both are like, did you see that one?
It's really cool that you'll almost seek it out in a sense. Like
I do.
That's very. It's the opposite of a lot of people's reaction.
For him, the things that really interest him as well. He's a young environmentalist guy.
That's when I went vegan myself. It was I wasn't thinking about animals. It was for the environment.
Yeah.
So what is it like having a vegan son or having a vegan member of the family? What is that like for you?
You know what? Because we love him so much.
Yeah.
I am a short order cook because I have, although my husband and my oldest son and my youngest son, they love me. I don't eat any red meat. In fact, I barely eat chicken at all. Mm-hmm. I may eat a little bit of fish, but I know like Hans will be up in my grill all the time about how can you do that? Blah blah blah, blah blah blah.
There's a lot of passion in the lifestyle, right?
Oh my God, he is so passionate. And so I usually when we're all together, I'll always have lots of good greens.
Yeah.
And then I'll have some kind of, quinoa or farro or some cool grain.
Yeah.
And then I will maybe make some meat on the side.
Totally accommodate. You accommodate him.
I make it for everybody.
Yeah.
So that everybody has.
What did you say his name is?
Hans.
Hans. Since Hans isn't here, how do you feel about his views? Like as a vegan,
I love it.
Be it the ethical aspect or the environmental.
He challenges us all the time.
Right.
And I probably out of anyone in the family have taken it hook, line, and sinker. I mean.
My mother was the same way.
Yeah.
When it was something I brought to my family, she was the same way.
I'm not quite vegan,
yeah.
but I mean, I am very mindful. not giving myself a gold star in any way, shape, or form.
Would you like to be in the future, or is it something that just feels?
No, it doesn't feel bad. It's a matter of really and truly, maybe I need to watch even more documentaries, but it's like I have to be all or nothing if I'm going to go one way or another. And I go through these huge weight things, like 40 pounds on, 40 pounds off, 40 pounds on, and so when I cut out, you know, I don't really eat a lot of meat and protein actually at all, you know. So it probably could be pretty easy for me to wake up. Like if you challenged me.
Sure. Well,
I like always love little challenges.
I've got a one question challenge for you, but it's not a life challenge. You can do whatever you want when when we say goodbye.
But it's really hard because you know you have addictions, and I mean,
for sure.
Sugar and alcohol are way more addictive than cheese and eggs. But I think cheese and eggs are very comfort food.
Yeah, we developed emotional relationships to those foods. Maybe it's what our parents gave us, or what we have been making for ourselves for years, and we develop very strong emotional relationships to those foods.
We really have, and we buy vegan cheese and vegan meat products. But
right. Have you found any vegan versions that you do like, that kind of do it for you?
Of the cheese?
Of anything. Of anything. Yeah.
There was one brand of cheese, and I can't remember if it was is it Desaya or
Daya.
Daya?
D-A-I.
Oh yeah.
D-A-I-Y-A.
That one, and then there was another one that he got in Madison that he brought home at one point, and I don't remember what it was.
There's so many now. That's the thing. There's so many.
Good.
Yeah. When you do, let's say cave, I don't know. When you go to the grocery store and you buy a carton of eggs, or you go out at night and you just say, screw it, I'm going to have some ice cream, dairy ice cream.
Yeah.
Is there a part of you that feels like you are contradicting values that you have or morals that you have? Is there a contradiction for you?
I love that. I mean, you remind me of my son. Because that's what I love about him. He will challenge me to my core like that.
Right.
Like, this is an ethical, behavioral, core values.
Yeah.
Like, how can you even begin to even think about having those when you know what's happening?
Yeah.
And I think as humans, sometimes we just obviously we put our blinders on.
Why do you think so many people do that? Because people do that with this more than anything else. They put the blinders on. Why do they do that?
I don't know. Do you have an answer?
I have an opinion, but I want to know what you think. As someone who wouldn't ever want to do this job yourself and do this to an animal yourself, do you think there's a way to justify paying someone else to do it for us?
No, I mean, quite honestly, I have not seen this footage on eggs.
Sure.
I don't know why.
Are there other industries you're curious about? Because you've got it all.
A lot on meat, eggs, pork.
You know about dairy?
Not as much. Well, yeah. Of course, the cows and everything that they go through, and some of the.
Do you know why cows make milk?
I don't know.
I bet you can get it if you think about it for a second.
For their babies.
Yeah, right. The same reason.
I see you're making me. Yeah.
No, you got it. I didn't know that most of my life. I just thought cows make milk.
Well, I thought it was so obvious that you asked me a question that
I didn't know. I didn't know. A lot of people don't know that actually. Yes, they make it for their
mothers would know.
There you go. So
the way you phrased it, I thought, it must be something different than logical.
I think it's so important for mothers to know about the dairy industry because it's an industry that exploits the female reproductive system.
Yeah.
Do you think in the dairy industry they're waiting for animals to get it on and start having babies? Because that's not what they're doing.
Sick, isn't it?
If you'd like to, you can tell Hans that I gave this to you. We have these cards with just some resources on them.
Yes.
And this is overwhelming, so I can just point to one or two of them if you want.
Yeah.
Maybe you've seen some of these because of Hans. Do any of these look familiar to you?
Cowspiracy for sure.
That one did it for me.
Yeah, and Forks Over Knives.
Okay, cool.
For me, he may have seen all of them.
He very well may have.
You know.
One on here that was really impactful for me, and it's very easy to digest too. There's not even graphic footage really. Is this very first one? The best speech you'll ever hear. It's a speech that took place at a university. It's a lecture. It's 45 minutes by a very powerful speaker.
Okay.
And he raises some really important questions, I think, and it's fun. If Hans hasn't seen it, you have to watch it with him.
All right. Can I have this?
Yeah, of course. Oh, you know what? One other thing you might want to know about You were saying you want to be challenged, right?
Yeah.
Okay, challenge22.com.
Okay.
You should definitely check out.
Okay.
It's completely free.
Oh,
You register,
cool.
you just put in your email address or your
Oh,
Facebook or something,
yeah.
and you're challenging yourself to a 22-day vegan challenge.
Oh my God.
And
Eddie, I'm going to report back to you.
You should, please do.
And the whole fishing thing, I can't remember. I saw a really good documentary once on tuna, and it's very, and then you're like, well, then why in the hell do you still eat tuna, Katie?
Well, you tell me. You tell me why.
I love it.
Right. You know what?
Or salmon.
You know what? I do too.
Yeah.
You should
But I don't
you
love
should
it
let
enough.
yourself know that you love it.
Yeah.
Right?
That's
and
it.
and what do you love more?
Right.
Or which is more important to you, your taste buds or the life of
You
an
must
animal?
feel very peaceful. I mean, there's got to be a peace that comes over you once you surrender to that.
The best way I've found to articulate it, and maybe this will make some sense to you because I know you've dabbled, it feels good not to hurt others.
Yes.
I don't know how else to say it,
Yes.
but there's something happens to you when you stop feeding yourself with products of violence and suffering.
Right.
When the food on your plate didn't come from someone that struggled for their life. Even if we didn't have to see that ourselves,
Right.
there's still adrenaline that is, I mean, hormones are released in these animals in their lives and in their last moments. We do consume those, and something very hard to describe does happen when you stop consuming the products of violence.
Yeah.
It is hard for me to articulate, but it is a tangible difference.
Yeah, thank you.
I would encourage you to explore. You're not committing to anything.
No. I mean, really, this is kind of a God thing. I have the chills just thinking about
good.
it.
I'm so glad.
Yeah.
I'm so glad to hear that. And I bet Hans will be too. Oh, so good to meet you.
For all the work that you're doing.
I can't wait to hear from you. Please do.
I will.
Let me know how it's going.
I will.
Yeah.
I will.
You should walk away from here feeling good about the fact
Well, I'm
that
inspired.
you're willing to confront something. I don't know if you've noticed, most people won't acknowledge, they put the blinders on.
Right.
And even that first step that you took, just the curiosity alone is so commendable and sets you apart from so many people. And then from there, it just comes down to, if this is something we want to change, and we're not willing to make that change, who are we waiting for?
Right. Now that I've seen this footage, especially,
Can you imagine
it's really bumming me out.
Can you imagine if every time you were checking out at the grocery store and you had your carton of eggs, as part of the checkout, you just had to throw a few baby chicks in a grinder and turn it on, like in a blender, and turn that blender on? And we don't realize that when we do buy that carton of eggs, that is what we're doing.
I know.
We're just paying somebody else to do it for us. Do you know what that machine is? That's an important one to know about. This is where the girls go. The boys go into the master, but the girls go here. And this holds their head in place, as you can see, and it cuts their beak off with a hot knife. Because the conditions we keep egg-laying hens in is so anxiety-inducing and stressful, and they can't perch or graze, they'll peck at each other. They lose their minds and they start to peck at each other. And our solution is to cut their beaks off on the day they're born.
This world is so effed up, because I'm sure, I mean, just think about what we're all doing and putting into our bodies.
Right.
I mean, just that evil.
Right. Do you think any of us can hope to live in a peaceful world as we feed ourselves with products of violence? Can those two things coexist? We live this, what's the word I'm looking for? We live this...
Is it a dichotomy?
Sure.
Is that what the...
Sure, there's a dichotomy in our lives we don't know exists.
Stimulated today, my vocabulary.
You nailed it. You nailed it. There is a dichotomy that exists in our lives that we don't even see.
Right.
And yet we suffer. Our health suffers because of it. The planet suffers because of it. And these animals suffer because of it.
Right. Oh my gosh. Wow.
Yeah. Well, there's a reason they don't. There's a reason this isn't what they put on the carton. Yeah. I'm amazed we managed to spend our entire conversation in front of one screen.
I know. Because I mean, I have a feeling, and I should probably walk around and see what else you got.
You want to do a quick glance? Do you want to take a quick little peek?
This is really amazing.
Yeah.
How could you get this?
Here we are. Here we are. We can do it. I mean, that's what we're trying to do, and the more people that get involved, the more people see it, you know? I love doing this because 99% of the people we talk to whether or not they're willing to confront it as quickly as you, are good people who would never harm an innocent animal, would never abuse their dog or cat, and unknowingly are paying for the worst animal abuse that exists on this planet, just unknowingly.